Hello my dear students, how are you? I hope you are enjoying my online classes and preparing for your Terminal 1 exam. As you know that you have given your CT on 8th of August, that is for your preparation of term 1, and in this lecture I am going to discuss with you the solution of your CT exam which was held on 8th August. This CT was of 20 marks and it was divided into 3 sections. The first section in which we are having 4 1 mark questions. The first question is calculate the resistance of conductor for section 1. Section A, very short answer type questions. Calculate the resistance of conductor if current flowing through it is 0.2 ampere. Current is given 0.2 ampere and voltage is given 0.8 volt. We know that by Ohm's law R is equal to V by I, so dividing 0.8 by 0.2 will get 4 ohm. So option A is your correct option. Option C is your correct option, that is 4 ohm. Okay, to question 2. 6 equal resistances are connected between point PQR as shown in figure. तो ये आपका पॉइंट है P, Q एंड R. तो इस डायग्राम में आप देखोगे कि हमारे पास P और R के बीच में 3 रेजिस्टेंस हैं पैरेलल में और Q और R के बीच में 2 रेजिस्टेंस हैं पैरेलल में. 6 equal resistance are connected like this. So we know that if these resistances are equal, then we know that in parallel combination 3 resistance parallel will become equivalent to R by 3, and in 2 they will become R by 2, their parallel combination value. So the maximum resistance is R, which is between P and Q. So maximum resistance is between P and Q. So your option A is the answer for your second question. Third question, in a loop current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction. What is which magnetic polarity will be shown by the side of current loop? So if anti-clockwise current is flowing, then I discussed with you, we can remember it by this diagram also. For anti-clockwise current we are always having north pole. In other words, if you apply right hand thumb rule, the magnetic field will come outside, and for this conductor in which current is going downward, magnetic field is also coming outward, and magnetic field comes outward from the north pole. So this polarity will become north. Question 4. Which rule is applied for finding the direction of force experienced by current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field? So for finding the force, when we are applying the current and field, we use Fleming left hand rule. So Fleming left hand rule is used. Fleming's left hand rule is used for finding the direction of force experienced by current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field, and we apply this Fleming left hand rule on DC motor, like we apply Fleming right hand rule on electric generator. The next is section B. Next we are having section B, and in section B the first question is, that is question number 5. The first question is, state 4 applications of heating effect of electric current. There are so many applications of heating effect of current, like electric iron, electric toaster for making your bread toast, for soldering, in light bulb in the form of heat and light, in medical purpose, for surgeries we use. So any 4 applications you can write. In electric bulb, light is converted into light and heat. So there are so many applications, so you can write any 4 applications for heating effect of current. Even fuse is the application of heating effect of current. Fuse melts for breaking the circuit. So these are all applications of heating effect of current. So next question number 6. Three 30 ohm resistances are connected in parallel to a 10 volt supply. Find the current drawn by the battery. So we are having three 30 ohm resistances connected to a 10 volt battery. Find the current. We know that these resistances are in parallel, and we know that 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. When you will put the values, taking the LCM, 1 by 30 plus 1 by 30 plus 1 by 30, taking the LCM 30, 1 plus 1 plus 1, 1 by Rp is equal to 3 by 30, that is 1 by 10. So Rp is equal to 10 ohm. The parallel value is 10 ohm, and by Ohm's law V is equal to IR, or I is equal to V by R. So current is going to be 10 divided by 10, 10 volt divided by 10 ohm, that is 1 ampere. So your I is equal to 1 ampere. It is the answer. Okay, that is your question number 6. Question number 7 next. Why can't two magnetic field lines ever intersect? तो जब भी अभी आपकी होमवर्क असाइनमेंट की अगर आपने देखी होगी, जो मैंने चेक कर लिया अभी, उसमें मैंने बताया दिखाया है बहुत सारे बच्चों ने मैग्नेटिक लाइंस ऑफ फोर्स को आपस में इंटरसेक्ट करवाया हुआ है. जब भी आप डायग्राम बनाते हैं, नो टू मैग्नेटिक लाइंस ऑफ फोर्स विल इंटरसेक्ट ईच अदर. व्हाई? बिकॉज टेंजेंट एट द पॉइंट ऑफ मैग्नेटिक, एनी पॉइंट टेंजेंट drawn on magnetic field gives us direction of magnetic field. If two lines will intersect, then at same point, we are discussing question number 7a. So if two magnetic lines of force will intersect, then there will be two directions of magnetic field at that point. Because direction is shown by tangent rule, and which is not possible. तो एक पॉइंट पे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की दो डायरेक्शंस नहीं हो सकती, तो इसीलिए दो मैग्नेटिक लाइंस ऑफ फोर्स कभी एक दूसरे को इंटरसेक्ट नहीं करेंगी. Draw the magnetic field lines around a bar magnet. B part. So you can take reference from book. If it is your magnet, bar magnet, magnetic lines of force can be drawn like this from a bar magnet. They will not intersect each other. Like this, and coming out from north and entering into south. So this is the diagram of magnetic field by a bar magnet. If you want to draw in the interior, then you can also draw like parallel lines, but they will never intersect. Okay, and if you will not draw internal, if you will do external, that is also correct. So that is your B part of 7th question. The 8th question, what happened to the resistance of a metal wire if the length of wire is increased? So that is the question based on the formula of resistivity. We know that R is equal to rho L over A. So for question 8, we are having R is equal to rho L over A. We know that resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. So A, if the length of wire is increased, so as R is directly proportional to L, so if length is increased, the resistance of the conductor will also increase. The diameter of wire is increased. If you B, because area is equal to pi d squared by 4, where d by 2 is the radius. So you can see that area will increase. If diameter will increase, area will increase, and area is inversely proportional to resistance. So with increase in area, resistance will decrease. So if diameter will increase, area will increase, and increase in area means decrement in resistance. So in first case, resistance will increase with increase in length, and in second case, resistance will decrease with increase in area. Define resistivity. Resistivity is defined as the resistance of a conductor whose area of cross section is 1 meter and length is 1 meter. R is equal to rho L over A. So if your length is 1 meter and area is 1 meter square, R is equal to rho. So resistivity is equal to resistance of a conductor whose length is 1 meter and area is 1 meter square. Question 9. Calculate the resistance of 100 watt bulb which is designed to work on 220 volt. We know that P is equal to V square by R, or we can write R is equal to V square by P. Bulb is designed for 220 volt, so 220 square divided by power, that is given 100 watt. 0 0 0 cancel. 22 into 22, 484 ohm is the answer. That is the resistance of 100 watt bulb. That is your A part. Your B part, if this bulb is operated at 110 volt, what is the power? So P dash is going to be V dash square by R. So V dash is 110, that is the half of 220 volt. So V dash is your half of, so you will square it, half of previous voltage, and R will remain same. So it will become V square by 4R. We already know that power of given bulb is 100 watt. So V square by R is 100. So 100 by 4 is equal to 25 watt is the answer. So at half voltage, 110 volt, the bulb will be of 25 watt. You can also solve it by putting the values. P dash is equal to 110 into 110 divided by resistance. You already calculated 484 ohm. This will come 12100 by 484. 11 to 11 is 121, and 121 4 ja 484. So 100 by 4. Again you will get the same answer, 25 watt. So either you solve it by first method or you solve it by second method. Your answer will come 25 watt. That is your question 9. So next is question 10, section 3. Section C or third section. Question 10. What is the role of two conducting stationary brushes, armature and slip rings in a simple electric motor? So we know that if this is the construction of the motor, north and south, and we are having armature, sometime armature is connected to slip rings and carbon brushes are outside, or vice versa is also there, which are connected to the supply. So carbon brushes, conducting stationary brushes, so they provide, first feature you can write, they maintain the continuity of circuit. और जब आपका हाफ साइकिल कंप्लीट हो जाता है तो डायरेक्शन जो होती है कंडक्टर्स की, करंट की, वो चेंज हो जाती है. जैसे पहले सीडी में करंट डाउनवर्ड है और एबी में अपवर्ड. आफ्टर हाफ साइकिल सीडी विल कम ऑन दिस साइड, AB will come on that side, and in current CD will become upward now. So they also change direction of current after 180 degree rotation or half cycle. So this maintains motor to rotate in one direction. आर्मेचर का क्या रोल है? आर्मेचर इज द कंडक्टर विच इज प्लेस्ड इन मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, सो ईएमएफ इज इंड्यूस्ड इन आर्मेचर. और स्लिप रिंग्स का क्या रोल है कि स्लिप रिंग्स विल हेल्प इन मेंटेनिंग द सेम डायरेक्शन एंड रोटेशन. कंटिन्यूटी, ब्रश और स्लिप रिंग दोनों कंटिन्यूटी मेंटेन रखते हैं. तो 11th क्वेश्चन जो है हमारा, ये आपका 10th क्वेश्चन के 2 पॉइंट्स आप लिख सकते हैं. और 11th क्वेश्चन जो है हमारा लास्ट क्वेश्चन टेस्ट का वो क्या कहता है, हाउ कैन 3 रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 6 ohm be connected to give a total resistance of 4 ohm? Draw circuit. A part draw circuit and 4 ohm का हमें रेजिस्टेंस कैलकुलेट करना है. हाउ कैन 3 रेजिस्टेंस कनेक्टेड टू गिव ए टोटल रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ 4 ohm, ड्रॉ सर्किट. तो 4 ohm आप देखो, अगर आप इनको 4 ohm जो है हमारा वो 2 3 6, अगर हम इनको सीरीज में जोड़ेंगे तो हमें पता है कि 2 3 5 और 6 11 ohm हो जाएगा. हमें 4 ohm चाहिए तो हमें पैरेलल में जोड़ना पड़ेगा. अगर हम 1/2 1/3 और 1/6 को पैरेलल में जोड़ते हैं तो हम देखते हैं हमारे पास एलसीएम आता है 3 + 2 + 1, तो ये 6/6, तो हमारे पास 1/1 या फिर हमारे पास 1 ohm आ जाएगा. तो 1 ohm हमारे पास बहुत कम है, हमें चाहिए 4 ohm. तो इसका मतलब कि ऑल 3 रेजिस्टेंसेस को हम पैरेलल में नहीं जोड़ सकते. तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम देखते हैं अगर हम 3 और 6 को पैरेलल में जोड़ दें 1/3 + 1/6, तो हमारे पास 6 3 2 6 + 1 3/6, तो हमारे पास Rp की वैल्यू आ जाएगी 6/3, दैट इज 2 ohm. तो 3 और 6 को पैरेलल जोड़ के हमारे पास 2 ohm आ गया और हमारे पास पैरेलल रेजिस्टेंस 2 ohm है. तो अगर हम 2 ohm और 2 ohm को सीरीज में जोड़ेंगे तो हमारे पास, हमें पता है हमारा फाइनल रेजिस्टेंस 2 + 2 4 ohm आ जाएगा. तो हमारा आंसर क्या हो गया इसमें कि अगर हम अपने एक 2 ohm के रेजिस्टेंस को 3 ohm और 6 ohm के साथ पैरेलल में जोड़ देंगे, इस तरीके से हम अगर सर्किट बना देंगे, सिंपल इतना भी अगर आपने बना दिया ए और बी पॉइंट के बीच में, तो हमारे जो ये 3 रेजिस्टेंस है 2 3 और 6, इन दिस कन्फिगरेशन दे विल गिव अस 4 ohm. पे आपका दोनों आंसर हो गया. दिस इज द सर्किट and this is the calculation for parallel and series. If you have done like this, you will get your full marks. I hope most of you have done very good in test and you will get full marks in your test. Still I am there with you before your terminal 1. We'll do all the numericals and we'll do practice by having more CTs like this. And like always, thanks for watching and take very good care of yourself. Stay safe, stay protected, study well. Thank you.